all together in this, and you know, if you're a part of the family, you'll always be a part of the family.
And we loved him right from the start. He will be in the game.
He could do something of everything.
You know, when somebody leaves this earth, you know, it leaves a hole in your family.
It's something you just can't sever. You can't just walk away from cleanly.
Wolves John Anderson.
I was so glad afterwards, not just so much for the banner, which is like, I can't believe it still, but the emotional things, seeing all my friends again and coming back to an organization that really supported me for 11 years and made me a better person and a better coach.
Thank you from my heart, from my family, from the millions of fans that saw you in Chicago for 11 years. No matter whatever happens to the Wolves, it will always be you who are our first real coach.
John is like a proud father, and he's taught these guys well, and they're kind of leaving the coop, and see them come back and honor them. I think it's just Don's so proud of Johnny. It was really neat to see.
I'm 53 years old, and 11 of those years, everything was about the Wolves for me. Can you imagine how lucky I was to be part of so much? And that's why it's emotional.
He's just an emotional guy, and I think that's what makes him so charismatic and so charming, is just he's so passionate about coaching.
The thing that I am most proud of anything, not even so much the championships, but I think it's just the longevity of staying in one place for such a long time. If you ask any coach, they want to stay in one place as long as they can, because what happens is you tend to get to mold your team the way you want it to be molded, instead of having 20 guys handed to you and say, okay, now mold it. It's very difficult to do in a 1 or 2 or 3 year period. It takes time, and now you get the kind of players that you want in, that you think you can be successful. Because I'm around a little bit more than other people, and was here for 11 years, that probably a little more recognizable, and people think of the Wolves and the championship. And like even today, like, you know, I went into the coffee shop to get a coffee. Guy says, "Oh, you're the coach of the Wolves." I go, "Well, not anymore. I haven't been for 3 years." But that's just because you know, I had a lot of longevity here.
You know, he's had different teams, both young and old, you know, with the turnover rate, and for him to be as successful as he was, I mean, you know, what a remarkable coach.
He's a guy that the game needs, because a lot of his hockey thinking is out of the box.
You know, 12 years ago, my first time here, he would do every drill with the players. There are not many coaches, and obviously he was younger at the time, but he would jump in the line, which I thought was great. He really showed his passion for the game. He was a very successful NHL player, quite remarkable, and you gotta respect that. It goes a long way. It says a lot about him and how much he enjoys the game, and I think that's definitely relayed back on us quite a bit.
I'm catching a lot of teams in the NHL now using a lot of his systems, a lot of his techniques of coaching that were a little radical at first, but all of a sudden you see some of the systems are being used by different teams in the NHL because they weren't used before Johnny got to the NHL, and now teams are using it, so that's not a coincidence. And Johnny has, whether people know it or not, has had an influence on the NHL already, and Johnny Anderson will coach in the NHL again. I still have what it takes to coach the National League, and right now the hardest thing for me to accept right now is with not coaching is that I feel that that a year of me not being able to teach and having all these things in my head that I want to do is a waste. He's a coach, and he's a really good coach, probably the best coach I've ever played for or coached with, and he will be in the game.
When you hear him talking about the coaching and how passionate he is, and smart, like he's smart, you know, he knows what he's doing, so it's just, you just want nothing but the best for him, and I think it will all come around for him. Sometimes
Things happen for a reason, and maybe it'll give me time to reflect and actually recharge and you know, get the eye of the tiger back again. You know, maybe that's what I need, and
hopefully be so recharged that we're able to take on a team that'll win a championship again.